Welcome back to Pregame. I'm Jessica Cootie and excited to be joined by a special guest here on our pregame show, Dr. President Jeffrey Gold, the president of the Nebraska Systems, and usually joining us during our halftime show. But because of the changes of the spring game format this year, we're going to have you on pregame to chat with us. But it's going to be a fun day. I know it's a change to what we're used to seeing here in Lincoln, but involving soccer and volleyball and having a spring sale and the tours of the facility. I mean, there's a lot going on, and I think it's going to be a fun day for Husker fans.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on pregame. And yeah, you're right. I'm much more used to sitting in the booth at halftime and looking out over the field and now to do this pregame. But yeah, it sounds really exciting, and I know the athletic department's been working really hard on the planning of this to be sure that it's fun, that it showcases some of the fall sports, and at the same time allows some tours of the Osborne Legacy Center, which, I had an opportunity to join Coach Osborne and some of the board members of teammates not too long ago, taking a hands-on tour of the center. And wow, I mean, I can tell you, I've been in the center many times. I've actually sat at the training table and broken bread with some of our student athletes and others. But to take a really in-depth tour of the center is absolutely amazing. The technology is just over the top. The planning of this is just truly remarkable. The academic center itself is, let's not forget that these are student athletes, underscore the word students, and having a world-class place for them to pursue their studies at the same time that they can compete on the playing fields is absolutely amazing. So I'm looking forward to this day.
Definitely going to be a special day. I know Husker Nation's excited for today's events, but as we celebrate, I know you've been reflecting on an important milestone. It's been exactly 1 year since you were confirmed as president by the Board of Regents. What's on your mind as you look back at your first year?
Well, it's hard to believe that a year has gone by since that day of confirmation. I'll never forget that my wife and I were sitting in my office watching the video of the board meeting, and wow, it was just an emotional experience for all of us. I was actually with my daughter as well, sitting there. As I reflect, there's no way to prioritize one thing or another, but I will tell you, it's the people of this community. Our students, our faculty, our staff within the university, the totality of the athletic department, the coaches that I've met, the student athletes that I've met on all of our campuses, by the way, and the teamwork that it takes to make this university as great as it is. The excitement about the future is truly amazing. For instance, just to give you a couple of examples, the transition from Coach John Cook to Danny Busboom Kelly, you think about how smooth or how rough some of those legendary transitions can be. I don't think the athletic department could have done it any better. They got the right person at the right time who's clearly going to make it successful. But the same thing is true in our work in the classroom. Second incoming class of presidential scholars. We're now up to 47 inside of the university system across all of our undergraduate campuses. Another large group are in the process of signing up for next year. These are students that have perfect ACTs that could go anywhere in the country that are choosing to come here. Ongoing work in research, some of the recent breakthroughs that we've had in the digital agriculture sector, some of the new recent cancer treatments that have come out of the Med Center, just amazing things. And so, as I look back at this year, it is not at all about me. It is about the things that everybody else is doing in this university. And, I don't consider myself to be anything other, as they say in the trade, the guide on the side. My job is to be the chief advocate for the university, to share the important news and to, share it in a timely, accurate fashion. And I'm deeply grateful to our communications people and to actually have this time with you on all of these broadcasts to really be very open and direct about what our challenges and opportunities are, I'm a firm believer that when you give people accurate, timely information, they're going to do the right thing with it, whether it's the legislature, whether it's within the university, whether it's our federal delegation. My best job for them is to be sure that they have accurate, timely information to make the best decisions that they can make.
So I understand you have a top 5 moments over the past year that you wanted to dive into, and I guess number 5 on your list is Husker athletics.
Absolutely, whether it's the experience that I've had at the Pinstripe Bowl or the experiences with men's and women's round ball. Of course, going to the volleyball championships was absolutely amazing. And the inspiring thing there is actually meeting the students. They are remarkable young men and young women. The coaches are just incredible individuals. They're dedicated, just absolutely amazing.
Okay, number 4 is research and innovation for you.
Yup, as I said a few minutes ago, whether it's preventing or treating cancer or end-stage heart failure, whether it's some of the recent breakthroughs we've had in some of the basic science research in Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, or whether it's the work we're doing out in the farming and ranching communities to increase crop production and to increase yield in cattle production. All of these are critically important aspects of the university. So that's a very important growth area for us and one we're going to continue to invest in.
We've talked a lot over the past year, and there's no doubt that Nebraska is making a huge impact on the economy in the state of Nebraska, so I know that's on your list as well.
No doubt. We measure our economic impact about every 3 to 4 years. We just recently measured it and system-wide, including our healthcare delivery systems. We're at about $12 billion, that's with a B, dollars of economic impact. We return about $10 for every dollar invested in us by the state, and we have grown over the last 3 years by $1.6 billion of economic impact. So to put that in proportion, we are about between 8.5% and 9% just within the university system and our healthcare delivery systems of the entire economic gross domestic product of the state of Nebraska. I mean, hard to believe, in addition to the fact that we educate the future workforce, cure disease, increase crop production, et cetera. That is an amazing statistic to be nearly 9%. And actually, I'm told by the third-party firm, Tripp Umbach, that did this study, that that's the highest percentage per capita of the gross domestic product of any state in the United States being contributed by their land-grant university system.
Wow, certainly something to be proud of there. Okay, what's number 2 on your list of accomplishments? I know you talk a lot about strategic planning and the importance to have a plan in place for the university. Yep,
that is a really big item, and it is, as we talk about number 2, but number 2 is as important as number 5, and number 5 is as important as number 1. There just happen to be 5 of these we're talking about today. There could be 50, but I know in the interest of time, we'll stick to 5. But no, strategic planning is really big because understanding what we're doing, who's responsible for what the metrics are, how we're going to measure it, whether it's measured in yards, whether it's measured, in touches, whether it's measured, in three-point shots. Just like it is in athletics, it's got to be measured in the classroom, in the research laboratory, in all of our extension and engagement services as well.
Finally, number 1 on the list, I know is really important to you. There's no doubt about it after chatting with you again over the past year. It's the students and the people that you get to work with.
There is no doubt about that. As a recovering cardiac surgeon, as a recovering physician, I spent 25 years of my life taking care of other people's children, and it's no different than what I get to do every day, except I don't do it in the operating room, but I help to try to do it in the classroom and in the research lab and on the playing fields. That's a very important responsibility for all of us. And people, parents, families, trust us to take care of their children. They trust us to not only have a safe environment, but to have a welcoming environment, to have an environment where not just some of our students, but all of our students are successful, that they achieve their goals, whether it's in the classroom or whether it's on the playing field or in the research lab, and they're positioned to be future Nebraskans. I mean, some of the most exciting conversations I have come actually from students that travel here from across the country and around the world. You know, Nebraskans understand our culture and understand what it means to be Nebraskan and how great it is to live here, work here, and raise a family here. But when people come here from all across the country and around the world and decide they're going to live here and stay here in Nebraska because of the quality of life and the experiences they've had, you know, that's really what it's all about.
Well, President Gold, thank you for sharing your top five and for once again joining us here on our pregame show. Congratulations on a meaningful year. And I know I speak for a lot of Husker Nation. I know big things are coming, and we're excited that you're at the helm leading us throughout.
The best is yet to come.
Thank you so much. And enjoy today, our Husker Games event today.
I'm looking forward to it, particularly the food trucks.
Absolutely. All right, we got to get to a break. More from pregame coming up after this.